Up next, Raiders fever hit Sydney. Thousands converge for a fan day. New tenancy laws touted as a win for renters. And new beginnings for an iconic Canberra museum.
Across Canberra and its surrounding regions, this is Win News.
Tonight, fan frenzy as the Raiders catch grand final fever in Sydney. Police put drivers on notice ahead of the long weekend. And from pets to pictures, renters celebrate new tenancy laws. Good evening, I'm Bruce Roberts. Also tonight, one woman's remarkable journey taking climate change in her stride. But first, the Raiders are settling into grand final week in Sydney ahead of their first appearance in the decider in 25 years. Sports reporter Caitlin Chalmers is following the team. Hello, Caitlin. What have they been up to today?
Bruce, today was the Raiders' first full day here in Sydney and the final chance for fans to see the team ahead of Sunday's clash against the Roosters. Both sides were introduced to fans here at the NRL Fan Fest in Martin Place, and there was no shortage of support for the Green Machine. A full house in Martin Place to catch a final glimpse of this year's grand finalists. With festivities over, attention turned to the official part of the day, the NRL Grand Final press conference. I'll be back in sport with all the details, including the scare that's gone through the Raiders camp.
And reporting from Sydney, Caitlin Chalmers. Caitlin, thank you very much. Canberrans heading the Hume for the big game or retreating for the October long weekend have been warned to exercise caution behind the wheel. Our first responders worried by the antics of some drivers and increasingly determined to stop the road toll from rising.
Police across the ACT and New South Wales preparing to keep even closer watch on drivers breaking the law. Michael Hammond, Win News.
Canberrans are being urged to fill up before hitting the highway. The average price of unleaded in the ACT is sitting a drop under $1.50 a litre. That's a whopping 15 cents a litre cheaper than most offerings in Sydney Metro. The best advice for drivers to avoid getting ripped off at the Bowser is to shop around online before hitting the road. The Westpac rescue helicopter and emergency services have rushed to Manana Beach this evening, where a man believed aged in his 20s has been dragged from the surf. The man was reported in the water around 10 to 5. He is being tended to on the beach. Canberra's renters will find it easier to keep pets and make minor changes to properties from November, with tenancy law reforms coming into effect earlier than planned. The opposition insists, though, the changes will diminish the rental market.
The ACT government easing the rental house hunt for Canberrans with pets months earlier than expected.
After the break tonight, a new beginning for an iconic ACT museum and a bold grand final prediction from two Canberra Zoo favourites. Arduous efforts to revive the Canberra Railway Museum are approaching the end of the line. The historic site on track to reopen this weekend. Almost 3 years after the south side attraction was forced to shut, it's now back to its former glory, thanks to volunteers putting in the hard yards.
A treasure trove of vintage vehicles, classic cabins and marvellous mementos ready to go on show after a long journey.
As the countdown to the NRL Grand Final continues, the animals at the National Zoo and Aquarium have caught a bit of green machine fever. The zoo's cheetah and dog combo, Solo and Zama, making some bold predictions about Sunday's result.
A Raiders legend lending his support, helping answer the biggest question on everyone's minds.
The current crop of Raiders is psyching themselves up in Sydney and excitement is gripping the region ahead of the grand final. So we've taken a look back through our archive to see how Canberra prepared for the big dance in 1994. And I'd like to warn you, the following story contains some questionable fashion and one fan who bears it all.
Mark Walker was the winner of an FM 104 promotion which asked how far people would go to be at the 1994 League Grand Final. Jeremy Lassick, Win News.
And I'm glad we could wedge that story in before sport, because here is Amy Duggan. And Amy, Canberra United has named its new W League captain.
It sure has, Bruce. She's planning to juggle the captaincy with her high-stakes career as a lawyer. Find out more next. And then we'll have the latest on the Raiders' grand final preparations, including a scare for one of the side's stars. Welcome back. Grand Final week celebrations are in full swing, but it hasn't quite been smooth sailing for the Raiders camp. For the latest, we cross back to Caitlin Chalmers, who's in Sydney. And Caitlin, one Raider has certainly gone to great lengths to get a room to himself.
That's right, Amy. John Bateman has been placed into isolation after coming down with a virus. Last night, Bateman was the only Raider to taste success at the NRL's Night of Nights, named Dally M's second rower of the year. The coach is adamant his star English recruit will be right to go for the biggest game of the year. Josh Hodgson was also struck down with a virus earlier in the week. While it's tipped to be a big Raiders flavour in the crowd, Josh Papali will have his own cheer squad. He's reportedly spent $5,000 on tickets for relatives.
And then all the uncles and aunties have just come out of nowhere, and it's a Polynesian family, mate, so I'll be paying for all of it.
The Raiders have tomorrow off, but will have one final training on Saturday when they hit the field for Captain's Run before Grand Final day arrives.
Yeah, the countdown is well and truly on. Caitlin Chalmers in Sydney there ahead of the NRL Grand Final. Well, sticking with the green theme, Canberra United has named defender Nicola Orgel as captain for the upcoming W League season after she re-signed with the club for another year. Orgel has just started full-time work as a lawyer. The club insists she'll handle her workload and be an inspiration to her younger teammates.
She brings this element of work ethic, and she demands excellence, and she makes players accountable.
Junior Wallabies lock Nick Frost will make his first Canberra Vikings start for the season, named in the second row for the side's clash with Sydney. Frost has come off the bench in all 5 games for the Vikings this season, Canberra making 2 changes to the side which defeated the Fijian Drua, with scrum half Joe Power coming in to replace Ryan Lonergan, while Mac Hansen will start on the left wing. The Vikings sit third on the ladder with 2 rounds to play, looking to keep their finals hopes alive with a win this weekend. Kick-off is at midday on Saturday at Viking Park. Heartbreak for Canberra product Lauren Bowden at the World Athletics Championships after she missed out on a place in the final of the 400-metre hurdles. Bowden was up against a tough field, including USA rising star Sydney McLaughlin, and she couldn't keep up the pace, coming last in the semi. Meantime, javelin champion Kelsey Lee Barber was presented with her gold medal overnight after producing an epic final round throw on Tuesday night's final in Doha. And that is our sport.
Lovely. Thank you very much for that, Amy. Time for some weather details with Chris Polzot. And Chris, sunny and warm today in the capital.
It was, Bruce. It felt like a summer's day in Canberra, and the best part is there's more beautiful weather on the way. I'll have the details after the break. Welcome back. Maximum temperatures were above average today, and boy did we feel it. Tonight's weather photo is from Michael. Michael has shared a beautiful sunset with a lazy orange glow sitting just on the horizon there. That's a great shot there, Michael. Thank you very much. If you've taken a weather photo and you'd like to see it on the screen, send it through to weather@wintv.com.au. Let's check those details now from today. It was very warm and sunny at the coast. Wollongong 23 degrees, 31 there for Nowra. Let's have a look further south. It was a similar day. Batemans Bay 23 was the top and 32 in Bega. Looking inland now, a low of 2 for Jindabyne, but charging forward into the 20s by about 10 a.m. and winds gusted to 57 k's at Thredbo. Onwards to the ACT, a few northwesterly winds for Canberra and a warm day in Braidwood. Those winds getting a little breezy at times as well. Let's have a look at the satellite image. A high pressure system will remain almost stationary over the northern Tasman Sea during the next couple of days, directing increasingly warm air into New South Wales. On the synoptic chart, a cold front skimming across the south on Friday is not expected to have much of a widespread impact apart from a gusty southerly wind change. Onto the forecast for the south coast. Sunny tomorrow with a medium chance of showers in the evening. Now 14 to 27 and 21 the top for Ulladulla. Further south, becoming cloudy and a medium chance of showers in the north and a slight chance further south for Maruya, 13 to 22 and Merimbula 22 degrees. Inland to the snowy mountains, a mostly sunny morning with a medium chance of showers by the evening. And onto the ACT, sunshine and a medium chance of showers. Now for Canberra tomorrow, a late shower or two. 27 degrees will be the top. Let's have a look now at Canberra's temperatures for the week ahead. Well, we could see a few early showers by the start of the weekend, but they will be short-lived, clearing by Sunday. And then we got more warm temps on the way early next week. So we might catch a little drizzle tomorrow, Bruce.
A bit of a change. Thank you very much for that, Chris, and thanks for your company tonight. We'll see you tomorrow at 6.